Hi there, my name is Amy Brookes. Welcome to my channel. I'm an evidential psychic medium as well as an intuitive mentor. What that means is I do one-on-one readings, group readings, as well as I work with people one-on-one in a mentorship way, helping people develop and trust their inner voice and their intuition. So what you're about to watch is a live mediumship demonstration, which is something that I love to do as a way to give back to my community and my clients, as well as to what I'm really passionate about is myth busting, is, showing what a real life mediumship, mediumship reading, mediumship event, mediumship environment, like what is a mediumship reading? What does a medium do, right? We are so familiar with what we see in the media, but very often that's not actually how it is or how it works. So that's another reason I do this. I just really want to showcase a real life example of mediumship and how spirit works. So that's what you're going to see. These people that joined, many were strangers that I had never met or seen before. A couple people, I had seen their face. They were past clients of mine. And I really hope you enjoy it. It was a beautiful session. And you can just see kind of the spontaneity of how spirit works and what it means to be an evidential medium. Like, what does that mean? It means I bring forth evidence, as you'll see in the reading. Enjoy. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to open the chat window too. So for right now, I'm kind of looking at it and reading, but as I get going, I won't pay too much attention to the chat unless, I'd stop and take a minute and I'm asking for clarity about something and you're responding in the chat window rather than out loud. And so essentially what this is a demonstration in mediumship. So you guys have probably seen mediums on TV or maybe even have gone to an event in which, there's a medium on a stage or in a restaurant or in a coffee shop or something. And, we kind of connect to spirit and we allow the people in spirit to come through for who is in the audience. And so it's not as if I'm kind of taking requests and moving that way. I'm really being led by spirit for you. And I feel like that's a true demonstration of mediumship. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Okay, so everybody's ready? Yep. Shake out any nerves. If anybody's like nervous, there's nothing to be nervous about. I swear I wouldn't do this if it was scary. Everything that I've ever connected with is loving and provides a lot of healing. And even if somebody doesn't come through for you today, just being in the energy of others receiving messages as well as in the energy of spirit will do you some good, I promise. Okay. So I'm just going to take a moment and get myself centered. Just going to take a few deep breaths and just everything comes through as an impression, a feeling, a vision, and whatever those things are, I'm just going to start relaying them. Okay, the first thing I feel is if we've got a dad with us, at least one dad. So I'm going to narrow in with this person in particular. Yeah, he feels quite fatherly. So I don't know if he's, I don't think he's old enough to be a grandfather. He doesn't appear old enough. But, if he's been gone a long time, he may be a grandfather now, but not while he was living, I don't think. He feels more like he would have passed without having grandchildren. Feels more fatherly for me for sure. I do want to say kind of middle age though. So maybe like in the late 40s, early 50s-ish. He is graying and I do kind of feel as if he might be I don't want to say heavy set, like he's not overweight per se, I don't think, but he doesn't come across as being super thin. He looks a little bit more stocky. I also feel as if he probably wore eyeglasses at some point, as he does show glasses to me. And I feel like this man would have had some sort of health problem. So it doesn't feel like it may be a sudden death, but it feels like there's awareness of like something going on before the passing. So it feels like, especially like the chest and the stomach, the kind of torso area feels like it might be affected. Keep staying with him for a few more minutes. Ask him to get more specific. And what will happen is if it doesn't click in this moment, it's okay. We can leave it. He might come back in and give more specifics for you, or this might be somebody that's catching the replay later on. Okay, interesting. I feel like he's coming back to tell me that that there is a baby, like either that's just been born or that, you know, is kind of waiting to be born. So either pregnancy or somebody's about to be pregnant. And this feels like perhaps a daughter. Does this make sense for anybody yet? Does anybody have a dad in spirit that, no? It's your dad? Okay. So where are you? Is that Lauren that's saying that?
Some of the things line up. I have a dad in spirit, but not.
Well. Okay. Sorry, somebody said it's my dad. Whoever Galaxy M51 is. Okay. Okay. So everything makes sense for you so far. Can you just clarify that? And you can go in the chat. It's okay. I tend to attract a lot of people with dads in spirit because I have a dad in spirit, and he was really, his passing was really what led me to my mediumship. So it's a commonality in my readings. Okay, so whomever Galaxy M51 is says it's my dad, it's me. Oh, it's Jordy. Okay, perfect, Jordy. Okay, sorry, I didn't see your name on there. Okay, so now I know who you are. Perfect. So you feel like this is your dad. So it makes sense with the illness and the kind of heart or stomach being affected, the torso, and somebody having a baby or something recently or since he's passed. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Okay.
कुछ है ऐसे किसी से बात कर रही हूँ. Yes.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. I know that we've connected many times online, but never in this kind of way. So thanks for being here. Okay, so let's stay with him a little longer. I'll get some clarity around this. Okay. Is there a boy child?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And would this be his grandson? Does that make sense that he wants to speak about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
my son.
Your son. Okay. He wants to speak about your son, his like very proud papa kind of feeling. Okay. Would he have been quite somebody that worked quite physically, like some sort of laborious versus
Yes.
like a desk job? Okay. He feels that way. Okay. He feels like he used his body a lot. It feels like his body kind of almost gave out on him a little bit. Does that make sense? I don't know if this is about the illness or just his work. I just feel like he was hard on his body, and his body started to, you know, fail a little bit as he got older or as he got ill. Okay. Does the month of May mean anything to you in terms of?
Yes.
Okay, so he brings me May. So just these little itty bitty pieces are just pieces of evidence to build upon the connection so that you know that I'm with you, okay? Okay, because he wants to bring through May and says it's significant. Okay. And your mom's still living?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because he wants to acknowledge mom as well, okay? Wants to send love to mom.
Please wait for email confirmation that
Okay.
I put Maine and Danforth, Toronto, Ontario, and proceed.
Oh, I feel all kinds of like, did he have part of his passing or something that happened within an illness or something have anything to do with the chest?
Yes, he had lungs disease.
Okay, thank you, because I'm just feeling like intense pressure here all of a sudden. And that's just how he makes me know that this is, he's really trying to build the connection here, so you know it's him. So he's really utilizing me and all of my my senses. He's a lovely man. Okay. He keeps also playing me like music or something. So I don't know if music was a big part of your life or his life. It feels joyous and celebratory. Okay. And I also feel as if there's some music or a song perhaps that you really connect with him in some way. Is there something? Yeah. Does that make sense? It feels as if he comes through to you in that way. Okay. So if you're ever like listening to a song and you're like, I think this is like something for dad, trust it, because that's your intuition kind of bridging that and connecting it for you. But also that's a way for you to kind of like pick up the phone to call him. You know what I mean? Like that's how he shows it to me, like put on whatever that song is that reminds you of him and he comes. Because I really like to let people know that spirit is a thought away. Okay, so when we think or feel something about them, we are inviting their energy to us. That's how this works. That's how I'm doing this. I'm just simply saying somebody is here for somebody here, and please just make it happen. And it does. Okay. Yeah, so it's really important to him that you kind of keep this connection with him. So I don't know if you are like talking to him often or you're trying to do this with him, but he's like, please keep going, like don't give up. It's really easy for us to kind of get in our head and our logic side and go like, I'm not talking to anybody, like this is nonsense. But it really is what he's saying. He's hearing. And there's also something about what looks like something gold or brass, and it almost reminds me of like a little box. I don't know if it's like a jewelry box or something like that has something memorable. Can I ask a kind of intimate question? Was he like cremated, or is there something in which he is?
No, he was cremated. He was burned rather, according to the Hindus.
Okay, and so is there any little thing that is kept kind of in memorial for him, or like a shrine of something that might be brass or gold?
Yeah.
Okay, because he shows me that as well and associates it with him. So it's connected to him somehow. That makes sense for you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does somebody have an actual like shrine of sorts? Does your mom have a place in which has like pictures and like different things of him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because he brought up mom, this is mom that has this. Okay. And I feel like she spends time there or with him every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's part of her daily practice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's with her. Okay. So if she's open to this information, please share it if she would be comfortable with it, because I feel like he's saying, I need you to know that I know that you're doing that and that I'm still part of your day.
Okay.
Because I feel a lot of love there. Okay. So I feel like, and I feel as if he kind of makes me feel as if he wasn't always like super expressive about his love and his feelings, but he felt a lot. Okay.
Yes.
So it's really important because I feel like, you know, maybe mom at times is like, I wish he said this, or I wish he let me know more about this. And maybe those are the things that she thinks about or talks with him about in those moments. And I just feel so much love coming from his energy that he wants her to know that he felt all that. He just didn't know how to say it, but he feels it. Okay. Now for you, is there something like for you personally or somebody, you know, in your household or family, there's something about something new, like work-wise, career-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm searching for a job.
Okay. He's bringing this up as well. Okay. So I feel as if he's aware of that. Okay. And he's trying to support you with that. And so how our loved ones speak to us and try to guide us from the other side is through our intuition.
Okay.
Right? Like, so it's a spirit sign, or it's just like this feeling, this nagging feeling. And so I feel that for you as well. So I feel as if he's like, I'm helping you, like, please follow the breadcrumbs. Okay. And I feel as if it's coming. And I know that I brought up May as something else, but I also feel like May might be significant on the job front as well.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not too far away from there. So hopefully something pops up for you really soon. But I want you to know that I feel like he's supporting you with that and trying to help you with that. And so is there just one Grenz? Like, is it just you have one son?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He's very clear. Like, as you can see, like everything that's come through, you're like, yes, yes, yes. He's a very good communicator, but he makes me feel as if he might not have been a great communicator in life, but he's like really a good communicator right now. Like I'm not having to guess anything. He's just like, nope, 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 nope. So, okay, he's bringing through this grandson. This grandson is like pride and joy, pride and joy, pride and joy. Do you have brothers? Like, did he have sons as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the boy is very important to him. Okay, so I don't know if he was just somebody that do you ever, he makes me feel almost, did you ever feel like not as important as your brothers or as the boys to him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because as I brought that up about your son, he's like, but I don't want her to think that it's just a boy thing and I only send love and appreciate the boys. I appreciated her too, but she probably didn't feel that as much. Okay, and he just wants you to know that. I don't know if it's like a cultural thing, but he just makes me feel
Cultural.
like it's something cultural, right? But it's not really how he felt inside. It was just like, you know, this is just what we do. But he has a lot of pride for you as well and loves you a lot, okay, and is very proud of you. He wants you to, I feel like he's getting close to wrapping it up, but he wants to leave you with, it's important for you, you're not sleeping enough. Do you not have a great sleep schedule?
Yes.
That's true? Okay. He makes me feel as if you're not like getting enough sleep to even like get into that kind of like restorative place. You're just kind of like it's almost like a phone charger where you're just charging it enough to like get through the hour, but like not like the whole day is what he shows me. Okay, so if you can try to prioritize your sleep, I don't know if there's like something going on that's making it so you're not sleeping as much, but he does want you to try to prioritize sleep more. And I also feel like maybe there's a cultural message as well with resting or with him and what like he would have thought in life. Like, no, you don't rest. Like, right. You rest when you're dead. Like you got to go. But he makes me feel like, no, like you actually do need the rest at a deep soul kind of level. So that might be like some sort of like conditioning or something that you're kind of working through right now. Keep working with it because he's kind of like, all of that was just kind of like stupid. So it makes me feel like all of those, that was kind of dumb. Like, no, obviously we need to rest. Now, I don't usually ask if you would like to ask a question, but I feel as if he wants me to ask you that. Is there anything that you would like to ask him before we leave him?
Is he happy? Is he at peace?
He certainly comes across as feeling happy, okay? He makes me feel as if he's very much still involved in your life, as evident of some of the things that have come through, okay? So he makes me feel like, yes, he's happy and at peace, and he feels especially loved and remembered. I feel like that's why he brought up your mom and how, like, and maybe you do something similar where it's like a daily practice where you still remember him.
Yes.
Okay. And that's just, you know, so it's so nice. It's almost like in life, he might've been like, oh, like shied away from it. Like, oh, that's a whole lot of love you're sending my way every day, but he loves it. He loves it. I feel very much like he's happy. Okay. And I also feel like it's really important for you to know that at the end of his life, he wasn't afraid. Was he like really medicated or would have been kind of out of it at the end when he passed?
Yes.
Or asleep or something? Like I just don't feel like I'm awake and aware.
Yes.
Okay. So that's important for you to know too, because I just feel like I just kind of slip away. Like sometimes when I connect with spirit who pass in this kind of way, they make me feel like it's just like when we fall asleep.
Okay.
Like we fall asleep and we're not aware, oh, I'm falling asleep now. You just are all of a sudden asleep. And that's how I feel, is what he makes me feel. It's like I'm there and then I'm not.
Okay.
And it feels like an easy transition. So I feel like that's something that you guys need to know as well, because maybe you're asking, is he at peace because of the way that he passed? Yeah, I don't feel any fear. And I also feel like there is a father with him, and perhaps if there's like a brother or a best friend or somebody that's like his kind of, somebody that was really close to him in life that seems kind of like aged or similar age to him, that would also be in spirit. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. He wants you to know that he's with them as well.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him that question also.
Okay. So he knew. So this is an example of how when we think something or we feel something about them, they hear it. So just take that as trust in that. Yeah, because he makes me feel like that's who was there waiting. You know, like if you picture yourself going to sleep tonight and then the first person that you see in your dream, that's how he makes me feel. Like
Okay.
I'm alive and then I pass and these are the first people that I see. Okay. Okay. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for
Thank
being
you
here.
so much.
Thank you. I hope this helped you heal. And, you know, sometimes I hear from people that have readings with me that it's almost like it opens a door a little bit. So you just become more aware of things.
It certainly brings a closure for me because I was not there when he passed away.
I understand. Yeah. And it's hard to not like have that closure and those answers. But just know he talks to you and he hears you. And please also know that he is, you're intuitive. Okay. You're intuitive, you're spiritual, and you can communicate with him. He's very like adamant about that. I honestly believe that we all could communicate with our loved ones if we really wanted to, and, you know, kind of developed if need be. But I want to put that out there for you, that he's just like very much adamant that you continue down that path so long as it feels right for you, because it's like kind of part of your life path. Okay.
Okay.
And just to end, I don't know why, but he shows me a bicycle. So I don't know if that's something with you, your child, or with him. Somebody rode a bike. I don't know. I just see a bicycle all of a sudden too. And it doesn't come in with a lot of context. So I'm just going to give that to you to end.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jordy. Okay. Thanks, guys. So that's just an example how this works. I really love to see your faces, because when I do this on Facebook or Instagram, I can't see faces. I can just see names. So it's just like an extra element to the energy. So this is like similar to if we were doing a reading together one-on-one, except if it would just be you and me, obviously, and I would just like immediately zero in on you. So everything that came through would be for you. That's the only difference. And just open it up to everybody. So, okay. I got goosebumps really bad. And I'm not cold. Okay. I'm gonna see who else wants to come in. I really love that happened for you, Jordy. I just wanted to put that out there because Jordy and I had tried to connect a few times, but she is in India and the payment, like it wouldn't work, like for her payment and for me to receive it. So we could never figure out a way. And so, you know, and so it's really lovely that came through for you in that way. He found a way. He found a way to come through. Okay. All righty. Let's see who else we have here. Definitely feel female right away. Feels very maternal, just trying to see if she's grandmother or mother. She may be both, but I'm trying to see who she is for one of you.
Oh, yeah.
Woody, would you mind putting mute on your?
Hello.
There we go. Thank you. Okay. I think I know who this might be because I have read for this person before, but I'm just going to stay with this a little bit longer and see if she gives me some specifics so I can make sure this is with who I think it's with. So I feel like a mother, and I feel as if, again, something within the chest. I want to say maybe also lung cancer or something with the lungs. But I feel heaviness in my chest and with my breathing. And she's got she's funny. Like, I find her really funny, and she shows me herself. I feel like this person might have had cancer, because she showed me herself with hair and like dyeing her hair, and then she showed me like almost looked like a scarf or some sort of little covering on her hair. I don't want to call the person out. I wonder if she's still here. I see Judy. I see you.
I'm here.
I was between you and one other person, but the other person I was thinking of too is not here. So I think this might be your mom. And did your mom have reddish hair, dye her hair red?
She had, I'm crying. I was crying before, and I'm wondering if it was because I felt her.
I know that when I'm so sorry, Judy, I'm so sorry.
I'm really emotional today.
That's okay. That's okay. This is an emotional thing. I know that when I took part in another medium doing something similar, like 2 weeks after my dad passed away, and as soon as she started saying like little bits and pieces, like I have a man here, my chest started to pound, and I felt like out of body almost. And I'm like,
it's not my typical reaction when
right. So you feel her. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Because she made me feel like I'm a mom and a grandmother. Okay. But I was a mom in like I wasn't a grandmother when I was alive. So that makes sense too.
And that is true.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And was it lung cancer? I can't remember. It's been a while. Okay.
Yeah.
When I connect with a spirit person that I have connected to before, it feels like deja vu sometimes, but I don't hold on to all the information because I just can't. There's too many of them. But yeah, she makes me feel like I've been with you before. I know your energy. Okay. And lung cancer, and she would have like lost her hair or something. Okay.
She did, and she had a wig, and she would like be super funny about it and like toss it off because she's like, my bald head, it makes me feel better. She had the best attitude.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you noticed, but I kept wanting to like laugh, and I'm like, she's really funny, like almost sarcastic. And so did her voice, she was a smoker, right? Did she have a little bit of that smoker voice?
Yeah.
Okay, because it sounded like that too. It was like a little bit husky or something.
Yeah.
Would she have ever like talked in different voices or little accents or been silly like that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I heard that too, and I'm like, it's almost like she was giving me like a Brooklyn accent and like all these different little accents, and I'm like, oh, you're silly.
So she grew up in a very small country town, and even they're known for their accent.
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
Okay. Because she was playing on the accent for sure. And just felt like she was silly like that. There's a little bit of like a theatrical quality with her energy. So I don't know if she would have ever done anything like that in her life, but she definitely feels like she could have, because she has like a theatrical kind of energy.
She didn't, well, she did in that, in the small town that they finally retired in. There was a local hall, and she was always the person that brought the community theater together or whatever was going on in the community. She was that person.
That's that then. Yeah. Because I almost feel like from her, like, I wish I would have just like got up there, like not just been the facilitator, but also like got up on the stage. But I don't feel like she's shy at all. Like she'd be like the first person like up on the stage. You know, if she was here in person and we were like in a hall, she'd be like volunteering and getting up on the stage. Yeah. For like whatever it is.
Social butterfly.
Yes.
Say hi.
Absolutely. No shyness at all with her. No, very like, it's interesting because very sure of herself. Like, it's like she's a real mystery, because I feel like she's very sure of herself, and she would have come across that way. But inside there was, like little bits of insecurity, but she certainly wouldn't have like showed that to people.
I've learned that there was a lot of insecurity. It
almost feels, when sometimes people, I don't want to say put on a show, but they almost like over, totally, as a way to like mask what was going on.
Totally.
Yeah. You just had a birthday this month, I feel, because she's saying happy birthday. Oh. you 46 or
47.
you just turned 47?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I saw 4-6 and that like, and I saw them like the candles, but it's interesting because you're turned 40. She might have been like saying goodbye to 46. I don't know, but I definitely felt that. Let me stay with this a little bit longer. I don't know if you had a chocolate cake or if you like chocolate cake or she liked chocolate cake, but I see chocolate cake. I don't know what that is, but
She loved chocolate cake.
she loved it. Okay. Maybe she's like, you should have had chocolate cake. What were you thinking?
I did have chocolate cake as
Oh,
well.
you did? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Because she's showing me chocolate cake and it's like very like a visual. I can see it. Is it like kind of a fancy one or did somebody go to a
It was,
bakery?
no, my friend bought it from Sobeys and actually it's called a cloud cake. If no one has tried them
Does it
before.
have those like
Yes.
fluffs? Okay, because that's
Yes.
what I see. Like if somebody had one of those, you know what I mean? I'm not a baker.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because it looked fancy. Like it wasn't a homemade cake. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
lovely.
She was with you. She was with you. Did you know that? You felt it.
I sometimes feel that I feel like she's around me. So I'm sorry. I'm very emotional.
That's
This is
okay.
so
Let
hard.
it out. Let it out. It needs to come out. Nobody's going to judge you. I promise. I somehow, I don't know how, but I hold it together during readings and then I cry afterwards almost every single time. So it's okay. And I cry. I was read recently by somebody and that like is a rare treat because I never get to be read. And they brought my dad through and I was like I couldn't even talk. I was sobbing. So I totally get it.
It's been a while. She's been gone, but I'm always wondering what she feels about all the decisions that have been made and
Yeah.
Sam and
Yeah. And she, I mean, we've done readings before and she's talked about like, I think even like the last time we connected, she gave you you were trying to decide between two things and she was
Yep.
gave you a clear decision and you did it.
she totally helped.
You
She
Yeah.
helped.
Yeah. She was like this one and you guys did it. Is it working out?
It's totally working out.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. She's with you very much. And she's showing me, did somebody give you a book or a hardcover, something like a journal or something?
Yeah.
Okay. She was really there that day. Okay. Just please know. Because it's like she's showing me like a movie. We had this and then somebody gave her, and I'm seeing like a hardcover book or journal or something. Okay. She's showing me like handwriting. Do you have something with her handwriting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Do you look at it?
I do.
Yeah. Do you ever like trace it? It's like she's showing me almost like somebody's like,
No, I haven't
No?
traced it, but my sisters have always asked about or thought about getting tattoos of her
that's
writing.
what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. That's exactly where I'm going. So she knows that. And I think that she'd like all of you to do it.
Wow. We just talked about it.
Did you get it somewhere? Yeah. That's where it is. That's where she's showing it to me.
I just I encourage her to stay with me and I try really hard to connect and I'm so open to it and I appreciate this so much.
You're so welcome. Listen, I'm the first person. I'm so open and honest about the fact that it's really difficult to connect to our own people. And I've done thousands of readings and it's because we're too close to it.
Yeah.
So I actually don't read my family and I don't purposely try to connect with my dad all that often because it's hard. I get in my head. I'm like, is this my memory? Is this him? It's hard to do it. So
Yeah.
I understand it's difficult, but the only difference between that and what I'm doing for you right now is that I'm trusting what comes through because it's not mine. And that's the only difference. So I know it's hard to trust when you're like connecting, but it is like, I don't know how else to say it, but it is.
I know.
And I think that's why she gives so much, kind of evidence about your birthday and different things like that is because she wants you to have that concrete like evidence. We need that. That's why I call myself an evidential medium. But I need the evidence too, in order for me to feel confident to give it to you. So, okay, let's keep going with her a little bit longer. It's interesting. I hope it's okay to share this. Judy and I worked together years and years ago, like in the early 2000s, I think it was. And this happened during that time because I remember you getting a call and taking off at work.
Yeah.
But I didn't know your mom and I didn't know you that well, but I remember that so clearly. So it's interesting that she's come through to me. And the first ever live I ever did like this, but on Facebook, your mom was the first person to come through.
I'm so grateful. Amy.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Yeah, it
Yeah.
was crazy. So I feel like this connection with her, even though I never met her, because she's just like she's the first one in line, you know, like it's just interesting. Okay, let's stay with her a little bit longer. Does somebody have asthma or allergies right now?
I have seasonal allergies, but my father, he does have some breathing issues.
Okay. Because it feels like, you know, like when somebody has asthma or something. Okay. Because it felt like she was directing that towards a male, but for whatever reason, I wanted to ask if Sam had allergies.
Well, he's homesick today. So.
Oh, okay. She's probably, is it something like that related, like cold?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because she made me feel that. And then it's probably a dual message, right? So like the asthma, the breathing would make sense for your father, who's also a male. And then Sam specifically homesick. Okay. So she knows that too. She knows he's not feeling well because I was feeling kind of congestion. Has it gone to his chest?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Not
He
to
knows
say
a lot of,
but I just, yeah.
I was going to say he knows a lot about his angel nanny. That's what we refer to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They're connected. They're like that. Because this is the only grandbaby.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a big deal
Mhm.
to the family, but to her as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Huge deal. It's like the son, you know, like this. But she's like, it's like interesting though, because he knows he's loved, but it's like, it's not ever going to go to his head that he's like the be all to end all. She's making me feel like he has a really good head on his shoulders.
Yes.
And he's very humble.
Yes. Yeah.
It's funny, like random. She makes me feel as I can't remember how old Sam is. Is he 12?
Yes.
It makes me feel like puberty is coming like very soon. It's funny though, because she was like making me feel like his voice was going to change or something or drop.
I was just thinking his voice has started to drop.
Has it changed? It started to?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can, she's making me feel that. So I think that's like the first sign maybe.
Yeah.
They're happening. That's funny. Yeah, it's coming. It's going to change.
Oh.
She's so pleased with him and what's happening with school and all that stuff. And he's found his buddy or his tribe.
He has a friend now. Yes.
We talked about that last time.
Yes.
And I felt like the tribe would somehow be connected. Is it connected to the school?
Totally is.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's very happy.
Oh.
It's like, it's kind of like that analogy, like I would rather have, 4 quarters than 100 pennies, right?
That's right.
That's what it's all about, is finding your people. And she's very happy that he's found his person. And he's also like super smart in like, did we talk about computers and techie stuff? Your husband is.
He is, yeah.
Does your husband code?
He's in IT. He doesn't code, but he's in the IT profession.
Your son might express interest in coding. I don't know.
That could make sense.
That makes sense. Okay.
He's very much into all things computer right now. Yeah.
Kind of like giving a glimpse of the future a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Let's stay with her a few more minutes. I want to ask her something about you.
Cool.
This is so personal. Come on. She's getting personal on me.
She knows I don't care.
You don't care? You're an open book? You're cool?
I'm red in the face, but it's not because of embarrassment. It's because I'm emotional. So
okay, so you're an open book with whatever she brings through.
Yeah.
Are you starting to feel like you are peri
yes.
menopausal? Okay. She's like, girl, she understands. Are you like night sweats? Are you getting all hot and all that?
I'm getting moody and all of those things.
Uh-huh.
And my sisters and I are like, oh my gosh, we wish we had spoken to my mom about this,
Oh,
right?
that's why she's bringing it up. It's so funny
Yeah.
because I'm like, I can't bring that up.
You
Like,
totally
that's
can, Mom.
personal.
Okay.
And she's like, it's okay, bring it up. She's not going to care. And it's because you were like, maybe you wanted to know, like, well, what was it like for you?
Yes.
What did you go through?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
Oh,
feel like she's making me feel like you might be a little bit more emotional than she was, but I feel like you're more emotional than she was anyways. So like the ups and downs, the crying swings and stuff like that. But I do feel like she had night sweats and hot and all that stuff. Because she feel
I
very
remember
hot and
this.
irritable, like just like get out of here. Bite your head off.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's happening or it's about to happen.
Yeah,
And
that makes-
she's just like, I'm with you. Like, you know, I understand. I know you need your mom right now. You know, and I definitely feel like she's with you through that and trying to help you through it.
Awesome.
And can I ask, she's really funny and she's really personal.
I'm not shocked.
Would she be like that in person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
yes.
like, does your husband snore a lot and drive you crazy?
No, actually, my husband tells me I snore a
Okay,
lot. and drive
okay,
him
because
crazy.
somebody is snoring and driving the other person. So what I saw was somebody like potentially, you know, on the nights when you're like dying of like heat and
Yeah.
sweating, that he might like, and then something, the snoring came up, he might like go like sleep on another bed or
Oh my
another.
gosh, that's so funny. I actually had the thought the other day. I'm like, maybe we should sleep in separate rooms for a little while.
But she just kind of shows me like that might happen, right? Like as to save your own sanity and his sanity, maybe like for a little bit. Not forever, just like through this. Yeah. I think that's okay. It's funny. It's funny what they bring through, isn't it?
Oh my God. Thank you. I needed this.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you could make it. And it's funny too, because I was about to like go live and then I saw you're going, can anybody send me the link? And I was like, oh, I have to send it to her. I just had a feeling. I'm just going to stay with her for one more. Actually, do you want to ask her anything? Let's just keep this a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not in particular. I know that she's with me. If anything, I'd like to ask her to light a fire under my father's butt to start making some positive changes.
Okay. And I feel like, okay, that feels like deja vu. We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
More of the same stuff is happening.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only gonna be, seriously?
Yeah. She's showing me boxes. That's related. Boxes, packing stuff up, getting rid of stuff.
No, that would be nice.
How do I?
Okay, maybe that's something that she wants him to do. Like just kind of
Yes.
get rid of
Yes.
some stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got too much stuff and he's overwhelmed with it.
Yes. He lives in a big old house and he's a little bit of a hoarder.
Okay, I was gonna ask, would he have always been more like that and her like less? Okay, because she had her things.
She did.
She had her things, but it was like almost like collection of things, not like just stuff
Yes.
all over the place. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like she's trying to like help him with the like collecting and like, let's just get rid of that. Like, do you really need that? Like little things, even like little, does he collect like anything like nautical or boats or?
He has, yes, he has a lot of fishing,
Okay.
beach, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Okay. Because I see like there's a reference to something nautical, ocean, fishing, boat stuff, and like blowing off the dust and like just get it.
That's his basement. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do feel like she's kind of like, I definitely am already trying. I'm trying, but like she's kind of like, you know what he's like.
Yes.
Yeah, she's trying. He's stubborn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I totally understand that. Just Now with
I'm kind of laughing at him a little bit, like of the stubbornness in him, like, oh,
Yeah.
very sweet. Let me just see one more
Oh, I
thing.
know, you always
I
do.
feel like she wants to give me one more thing. It's just almost like, but one more.
Okay. Okay, okay. That was nice.
It's interesting because I've like, feel like there's reference to one of your siblings, one of your sisters.
Okay.
I don't know which one because I keep flip flopping back between the two of them. And there's something like somebody's trying to make a decision about something.
Yep.
Is it both of them or just one? Because she keeps
Just
flip-flopping.
one. Just
Okay.
one.
For whatever reason, she's like flip flopping, but the flip flopping between faces might be like her flip flopping between decisions. Like, I don't know, but I just feel like somebody's trying to make a decision.
Yep.
Does that have anything to do with moving?
Yes. Yes. So my sister moved from New Brunswick last year
Yeah.
back to Halifax. And ever since, it's been a huge challenge for her. So I feel as though she's questioning that decision. Is it going to get better? She's having a really tough time.
Interesting, because as much as your mom say, there's
Are you
every-
in the office?
I'm getting a lot of feedback. Sorry.
Oh,
Amy.
I don't know.
No, I'm not here tomorrow, but I'm.
You hear that?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna. Oh, I can mute people. I didn't even know that. I'm muted. Okay. I feel like what she's saying, as much as she would like everybody to be like this,
Mhm.
it's okay to fly, little bird, is what I
Okay.
hear.
That's amazing. That is totally amazing because I feel like she could have some opportunities.
That's
Out
where
of
her
province.
soul wants to go. It's almost like I'm torn because I want to be close to family.
Yeah.
Because family is all we got. And like you guys
Right.
know that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this battle of like head and heart.
Yeah.
But she can still, I feel like you guys are still going to be super close. She's going to come down
Totally.
all the time. It's not that far. But I
Totally.
just heard like fly little bird. It's okay. I love it. It makes me want to cry when I hear that.
I'm going to cry too.
I know.
So I apologize to everyone.
That's okay.
I've been crying again. I will let her know. She will be so appreciative of that message.
Yeah. And so I'm recording this. So, we can always send her the and she can literally.
Oh,
listen to
God.
it herself. Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Thank
Oh,
you.
sorry. I guess I don't know if you heard that at the beginning when I said I was recording. I won't share everything, but or if you want me to cut something out, I can.
I look like this, so.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, I have people come to me and they're like, pajamas, no bra, like whatever, anything goes. I don't even care. It's whatever you feel comfortable with, honestly. I would be doing the same thing if I wasn't, trying to run a business. If I thought you guys wouldn't care, I'd jump in my pajamas. I probably wouldn't care. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Judy.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
So much. Yeah. Sending you lots of love. Okay. All right. Let's shake that off and see. I feel like we'll have time for like one more, perhaps. We'll see how that goes. If somebody else is really persistent, we might make room for another one after that, but planning for one more. Okay. Okay. Let me see what this is. I'm just going to put this out there. I don't have a clear sense of if this person is in spirit or if somebody in spirit is showing me somebody that's living, but I know this is sensitive. Is there somebody here that has lost a child or a baby in spirit?
Me.
You have? Okay. Thank you for being so vulnerable and open, for sharing that. I relate. I have too. So I noticed you were rocking your baby. Do you have a male baby now, or do you think that there's a male baby in spirit? Has that ever come up to you? You have a female in spirit? Okay. So what I saw was, I felt like there was a little boy that wanted to come through, but let me just, but like dark hair and dark eyes. Okay. I feel very clearly there's a boy. So I don't know if that's for you. But I don't know if it fits for anybody else either that's here. It doesn't necessarily have to be like your own baby. It could be somebody that passed away. Okay, somebody, okay, okay. And the person that just DM'd me, would you like to stay this private? Because if so, then I can just relay everything that I'm getting without asking you to come on camera and without you verifying anything, and I can just give you the message. I was seeing a little boy in spirit who had dark hair and dark eyes. And so I don't know if he would have not private. Okay, okay. So it's okay for me to talk about this? I was gonna say, I felt like he would have passed, you know, before being born, but he shows me himself at, I would say like 4 or 5. So I don't know if that's how old he would be now, or if he would be, you know, older than a toddler, maybe school aged or in that age range, but that's what I see. Is it okay if I just verify that you're giving me feedback? Okay, okay. So there's somebody here. I probably maybe at work or something and can't come on the video, but lost a baby. Okay, older, more like 16. Okay, okay. Let me just stay. Do you have a younger child that would fit that range though? You're at work. Yeah, I figured. I feel like because my first impression was like as if perhaps there might be somebody in spirit that was showing me a living person, right? Like a living little boy, but was also a male that would have been lost before, you know, he came of age. Okay, you have a 7 and a 9-year-old. Okay, so a little bit older than this 4 or 5-year-old. That's okay. He might be showing me something from the past. Let me just stay and make sure this is for you. I'll try to get as much as I can. Does somebody have an M name? Do one of these boys have an M initial? First or middle or last, it could be. Yes. Okay. Okay. Milan. Okay. Thank you. For those of you, I don't know if I made it clear, she's communicating in the chat. I think that's clear because she's at work. But I did feel like really called to continue to give her the message, even though she can't come on because this little guy is adamant that he wants to come through. Okay, and this still weighs on you, like this is still something that is thought of often. I feel as if he is thought of often, you know, like this would have been around the time he would be born, or he would be 16 now. Like I feel like it's something that you think about often. It's like the recall is there, you know, exactly. And I feel like she says yes. I feel like he was dark haired and dark eyes. April would have been his birthday. Okay, amazing. So he just turned 16, or he's about to, because we're still in April. Okay. And so this is personal as well, but would this have come from another like relationship, like before the one you're maybe currently in, or the one with the other children? It's the same one. Okay. It just feels like circumstances were very different. So that's why I asked that to you. Like it truly feels like it wasn't the right time, and that you knew that. They were different. Yeah, they were different circumstances. Okay. It's really important because of the circumstances and the way this went about that you release any residual guilt that you may have, because there's nothing to feel guilty about, is what I hear. oftentimes when I connect to souls that, you know, were not born for whatever reason, they come across to let me know that they knew that going into life. They knew that they would not be born and live. And that it is a soul kind of contract, like choosing to do this to teach themselves something, but also you. Like I got head to toe goosebumps. My head is like just vibrating. She says, thank you. I do still feel guilty. Yeah. So he wants you to know that there's something out of that you were to learn, right? And that there's something out of that he was to learn. And so he doesn't want you to have like regrets or feel guilty about it, because it was the way it was supposed to be. I know that's hard to digest, but as somebody who has a baby in spirit too, I've learned this from my own connection with my baby in spirit, and it's allowed me to feel at peace with that, and that we will see each other again, and the connection's still there. You're still his mom. Okay, so know that. Can I ask, do you have a father in spirit, or is your partner's father in spirit? Does somebody, I feel like he's talking about a grandpa. I also want to thank you for coming on when you're at work. A granddad? So like your granddad, so his granddad? I just want to make sure, because I feel like he's talking about a grandfather that is in spirit with him. Your granddad. Okay. Okay. Would your granddad had been like really into cars or motorcycles, or like working like mechanics, or like, I feel like I don't know if it's a hobby, just something he's interested in, or if he would have actually like been a mechanic. I don't know. I just see him with like dirty kind of hands, you know, when you're like working with your hands. Yes, that makes sense. Perfect. He's very, very clear. Our connections are so clear today. I'm so happy. Considering I was so tired, I'm like, please come through for me, because I'm so tired. And they're all like, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay. Please know that your granddad is with him. Okay. Please know that. They come in like this. Okay. Hand in hand. It was like Milan came in first, and then it was like he reached back for grandpa. So I see all this in my mind's eye. This is how they come in. I feel like they're together, okay? And I feel like they're like working on bikes, and I don't know, like just doing stuff is what they're just like buds is what I feel. And I feel like one of your other boys will also be super interested in the same kind of thing. So I don't know if he's already expressing interest in it, but I feel like he will also be into that kind of stuff. And I also definitely, okay. I also feel as if, do you ever light a candle for one of these, for your granddad or your son? Because I feel like they're showing me like a little white candle being lit. It could be like a daily practice too, where you kind of like sit and you're, you know, talking to them or talking to yourself or whatever. But I just feel for your ancestors, thank you. So they would be included in that, right? They're included in that connection. So you light the candle because it feels like a ritual of sorts. It feels like I'm intentionally sitting down and this is what I'm doing and it's for this. Okay. So they're kind of like including themselves in that ancestor message. Okay. They know that you do this. And I also feel like this is the time where you're kind of in the zone, you're quiet and you're open to feel them and their messages. So they're there for you for sure. One more thing wants to come through. Is there somebody, you or your spouse, is there somebody that's like, hold on, again, something with job. It's interesting because everybody so far has come through something about wanting to make a change with the job or looking for a new job. Except for Judy, that was about moving. I feel like you or your spouse, somebody wants to do something different or is kind of weighing their options. Does that make sense for your spouse? Yes, it does. Okay. I feel like you, whomever that's for, you're encouraged to keep your mind open to allowing something new to come in. So if you or your spouse are looking for something new, he's going back to school. Okay, perfect. It's so aligned and good. It's exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Okay. He's meant, and because what I was hearing was like, sometimes we have to close one door to open another. So I think that means like, maybe, you know, maybe he gave up his other job, or maybe he's working less, or whatever it is. It's like opening the door for a new opportunity. And so what I was hearing was, please walk through it. Like, this is exactly what you're meant to do. Okay. So I feel like that's an example of how we every day listen to our intuition. We might not realize that we do, but there's like a feeling in us. It's like, I want to go back to school. Right. And then we do it, but it's our intuition. Okay. So please know that your son and your grandfather are absolutely around you, and your spouse and your boys. And I keep seeing like an Easter scene. So I know Easter was just last weekend. So I feel like maybe you guys had a dinner or something. I don't know if you did an egg hunt, but I'm seeing something. I almost wonder if, did you make some sort, even if it was like a mental note, that there was somebody like not at the, you know, when you can say there's a chair reserved, almost like this is where he would be, and you kind of honor them in that way. There's something about that too, like that there's a reserved chair, or that you thought of loved ones in spirit or ancestors, you know, at dinner, maybe when you were like saying grace or like whatever you do. She says we did have an egg hunt. Okay, perfect. You always do? Okay, perfect. So just know that they know that too. Okay, they know that too. Okay. Friend, thank you for being here. I hope that that helped and gave you some peace and some healing. Thanks for tuning in from work. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. This is probably why I felt like I was going to do 3, and then I was like, or maybe 4. That's probably why, because that one came in without us being able to talk out loud. So I am going to go for one more. I was going to end at 2. I understand if anybody has to go, I value your time, but I'm going to stay on and do one more. So it might be like 15 or so more minutes. So if you can stay, I appreciate it. If not, thank you for being here. Gonna have a drink though. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if these are for the same people, because they come kind of in back to back. So I'm just gonna, first thing I saw was I felt like a grandmother kind of figure. And then a dad. Parental, feels like a dad. And then like, so I don't know if this would be his mother or you know, your other grandmother, but I feel like there's a grandmother and a father. And I don't know why, but I keep seeing what looks like there's something about repairs or renos or something on a house. Like that potentially it's an idea or something. And I'm also wondering if anybody has a connection to like something to do with like telephone, internet. Like I just keep seeing wires. It could be an electrician. Like I don't know what that's about either, but I just keep seeing like wires and stuff. Or if somebody like recently like had somebody come in and like install something, I don't know. It just feels like there's some work related renovated upgrade thing. And then I don't know if it's attached to this wire message, but I see something like that. I feel like dad has like sort of a, I don't know how to describe his nose, but there's something, it's almost like a little rounded at the end or something. I don't know. There's something with the nose that stands out to me that he's wanting me to talk about. And I also feel like he could have like gone red a lot, or could have had like red on the end of his nose. You know, and sometimes when people get like those little broken blood vessels and they show up on somebody's nose or their skin. I'm going to stay with these people a few more minutes. If it doesn't make sense, we'll just assume it's for somebody that's going to watch it after. And I'll see if anybody else wants to come in for those of you that are here. I definitely see these people just as clearly as I saw all the others. So I trust they're here for somebody. There's like a Toronto connection as well. So I don't know if somebody here lives in Toronto or has a connection somehow, if dad was from there or what, but there's something with Toronto. I feel grandma might have had memory issues. And also there's something about diabetes coming up. Does this make sense for anybody watching? If not.
My grandfather, not father,
Not your
had the
father.
broken blood vessels, had a sibling in Toronto, and had diabetes.
Okay. And would
But-
he have, okay. Okay, so let me just stay with that for a moment. But your dad is living. Your dad is living. Would this be your dad's dad though?
Yes,
Okay, that might be the
if it's for me,
if it's
that-
him. Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to like sometimes like I try to make connections of how that would have come in, and that could make sense for me if it's dad's dad. Because I felt like there's a connection to dad. Okay. And then would there also be a grandmother? So would
Yes.
his wife?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Would anything memory wise come in for her, or did she start to kind of like lose memory? No, doesn't make
No,
sense.
just him. She died when she was 67 from cancer. Before that could have happened.
Okay, but he had memory issues.
Yeah.
He did. Okay. And he also had diabetes. So those things all make sense for him. Okay.
Yeah. And the red nose, the blood vessel.
Yeah, that was very specific. He was
Mhm.
like, make sure you tell her this because she will know that's me, because that's so specific for me. Can I ask a personal thing about that?
Mhm.
Struggle with alcoholism?
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, but you beat me
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, he makes me feel that, but I wasn't sure if it was like, I wanted to make sure it was okay to say that. I
Yeah.
feel like that's just another way to verify that we're with him. Okay. Now, the internet or the telephone wires, electrician, does that make sense for anything?
Well, I thought of my mom because she worked for MTNT, like all while I was
Oh
growing up.
God, yeah, I definitely felt like somebody worked for like an internet or a phone company
Yeah,
or
my mom.
something, right? And but are you guys doing something and you're upgrading something or
Well,
you want to?
We the first thing we did 3 years ago with our house was the electricians were here the first day we got the keys.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can see sometimes it's like a puzzle that we have to put together, right? It's
Do you want to know something? I'm doing a puzzle right now, Amy.
are you? So
It's so funny that you said that.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So cool. And it's so cool because I'm supposed to connect to you later and we're here right now. Okay, let's see what he wants to say. And thank you. I'm reading your comments in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, let's see what else wants to come in. They're so clear, but I also want to say like this is a testament to all of you, because when the person that's receiving the information is open, the information flows in like it's a communication, it's a conversation. I want to put that out there because some people are like, well, I went to somebody and they said I couldn't be read. I don't believe that anybody can't be read. It might be that you weren't ready in the situation, or maybe you and the person that you were, that was reading you just wasn't a good fit in some way, but everybody can be read, and it can be like this if it's a good vibe, like a good match. So, okay, let's stay with them for another minute. Do you have something in a window, like a stained glass or something? Do you have any little like thing in your?
I have sort of one little thing in every window of the house,
Okay.
like an ornament and different things. Yeah.
Okay. Because it's very specific, like there's something on the window, right? But like, he's not showing me what it is on the window, just that there's something on the window that reminded me of like stained glass, or like could be an ornament, or like just something little.
Well, and my dad's house has that too. Like it would be his son. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a shared message. Yeah, that makes sense. Would he have also, like, I know we talked nautical stuff with Judy, would he have also had like nautical stuff, or like a boat, or like a model? Or does somebody ever like build model things?
We have a family member now that he wouldn't have met that's really into boats.
Okay.
And does sometimes build models
Okay,
with what would be his great grandson.
okay. It's very specific, like somebody is building a boat, but like not an actual boat to go in the water, like a model.
Okay.
Okay. So he's probably just saying like, I'm aware of these things. But there's like a nod to him in some way. So he's connected to it in some way. And I don't know if it's just because like he lived by the ocean, or he liked boats, or he had a boat. Like, I don't know what it is, but he feels connected to that in some way.
He was in the Navy and
Okay.
had different little things around his house, like referring to the Navy.
Okay. Because I just feel like he's connected to that in some way,
Yeah.
or is personally connecting himself to it because he also has like that interest. Okay. I feel like there's some things that I almost feel like they're kind of like, save this for your reading later. Like, I feel like there's some things that want to come in, and then it's like, just save it for later. You'll have nothing to talk about later. So I'm just going to like kind of give little bits and pieces and not touch on that until later. Okay. It's funny. Okay. I feel like just with a yes or no, is your dad causing you stress?
To a degree,
Okay.
not the biggest stressor in my life right now.
Okay. Because I just feel like his dad is kind of coming through like, sorry about that, like almost wanting to apologize on his behalf in some way.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's saying he's being very hard-headed. He's like doing this. He's hard-headed. I don't know.
My grandfather or my dad?
I don't know. Maybe they both were, but
Yeah.
he's like somebody's hard-headed. Or just kind of being stubborn, or like just not seeing the whole picture, just kind of, yeah, that's the kind of the feeling that I get. But I do feel like they're similar.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Which kind of makes sense why he would want to apologize on his behalf. He probably wants to apologize for him too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
on the weekend, we were kind of talking about all kinds of things, and just, yeah, the alcoholism that you mentioned, like just sort of, World War II veteran, goes to the Legion all the time kind of alcoholic.
Yes.
And so Dad and I were sort of talking about like the impacts of that, like now that, trauma is so much more understood. So we were kind of connecting that. So I can kind of see his apology a little bit.
That makes sense for me. And as a nod for the awareness of that conversation. And this kind of stuff comes up a lot when we connect to somebody, that's kind of like, might consider them old school, or like, somebody from before, where society is becoming much different. So it kind of came through with Jordy too, where it was like, like the idea of like not resting, like that was dumb. Like that's kind of what our dad was saying. Like when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
Right?
Dad was sort of being a little bit like, limited in his way of seeing things. So that could be what he's saying about
that's what he's,
the hard-headed and not seeing all, like connecting everything that I'm saying.
Yes, but also that grandpa feels a bit like that, hard-headed as well, stuck in his ways a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's owning it, right? Like often when we cross, we kind of see everything in a different perspective, and we would kind of have I feel like we have a life review, and we see everything, who we impacted for the better and for not. And we're kind of given that big 365-degree show of our life. And we also, because there's like, so when I'm connecting to somebody in spirit, it's like I'm blending my energy with them momentarily. And I feel like when we are in spirit, we blend our energy, like we're all blended. So there's like, there's an understanding, because you would just automatically be like, I get you. Like, I know why you did what you do. I see you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so a lot of the times, you know, people that come from older generations will come forward with those kind of messages to say, thank you for doing this work. Thank you for healing it. You know, like we don't have to stay in that just because that's what we were taught, or that's how it used to be. It doesn't have to be like that. So he's continuing this journey for both your dad and you. Do you have a closer relationship to your dad a little bit more than?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not to say like that you have a favorite. I just feel like maybe you guys are on this more of the same wavelength right now, in some degree, or you're meant to kind of bond a little bit more right now.
Okay. Yeah, that I feel that.
Yeah, like you guys can, it's almost like you both have life lessons, and if you kind of, and a lot of them are similar, and it's like when you come together, you can speed up the process of healing it. So together you guys will do this faster than if you tried to do it separate.
Yeah.
Hold on, seeing the guitar. This is your husband, right? Guitar.
I play guitar,
You do
but
too?
not in a long time. My husband is a drummer, so
Oh,
he's
okay.
with guitarists a lot.
I
Yeah.
knew he was a musician, so when I saw guitar, I'm like, we must be
Yeah.
with husband. But if it makes sense for you, right? Like I didn't know that about you. But
Or
yeah.
it could be referring to my husband, because he didn't meet my husband in the, you know, in the human life, or the, you know, alive life.
Yeah. But
Kind of
yeah,
silly.
but they know, they know stuff. Like, yeah, they still know, right? Even
Yeah.
if we didn't have a connection, there's still a relationship that happens, even if we're not totally aware of it. You know, it's like that little whisper in our ear. So to them, it's like they are having a relationship with us, but we might not always be aware of it.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. There's something about the guitar though. So if you're like playing it, or you're learning it, or you're trying to, I feel like there's more there for you. Like it's an outlet.
I know what it is now.
Okay.
I've been talking about buying a classical guitar, because I haven't played so long, and the strings are easier on your fingers because they're nylon and not metal. So I've circled around it, but I haven't actually done it. So maybe, yeah, that could be
There's
enough.
something there for you, because he's like, this is an outlet for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would
So
be.
yeah, when the time and when the timing is right for you to do that, I feel like that would be encouragement for you to do that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, are you pretty good at it?
No, mediocre.
I feel like you become better at it. And so maybe it's you making those accommodations for yourself, where you're like, well, this will be hurt less. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then you'll take off. But I feel like there's an outlet for you. And I
Yeah.
also feel like, did you and your husband bond through music, or is this something separate? Okay.
Yeah, no, we definitely, that was a connection for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like you spending more time with that release, that outlet, it's going to bond you too.
This makes a lot of sense. I just feel really thankful that my grandfather's like seeing this, and
Yeah.
you know, like he approves, and
They want the
really
best for us, you know, like they really do. They want us to heal and learn and grow. And we don't have to do the same things they did if it doesn't work for us. Like I think that's a lot of what we're here to learn.
Yeah.
Like I often say, I feel like the whole point of life is to come here in a society where you're told things have to be a certain way and you're conditioned. And the whole point is for you to go, nope, but I'm going to be who I am anyways. Like, I really feel like that's the whole point of us being here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everything kind of like happens for us, like the works, life starts to happen for us, not to us. Yeah. Thank you for being here, Judy. I know she left, but she left me a message. Okay. Yeah. I know there's more to touch on here, but I feel like he's going to be, there's going to be more that wants to come out later about what you asked me about earlier. So I just want to encourage you that this guitar thing, I feel like will help with stress. but also kind of, not to say that things aren't kindled, but like to kind of rekindle something with you two.
I used to love playing guitar. And Jordy and I, it's funny because we're connected with music, but we don't do music together. Even though I used to do music and he does music, we don't
Yeah.
do it together. So
That's what he's
that could
saying.
be-
Come together. Come
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that could be really fun. We've talked about it lots. We just only tried it once and it was like,
Do you ever,
didn't go
do you ever
well.
sing?
Oh, I love singing.
Okay.
Singing actually is what I want to do. And guitar was always just a vessel so that I could sing.
So, okay, it's like you stand behind the guitar kind of.
Yeah,
Because what I
like
was
something
saying,
to sing too.
I don't know if you've ever sung in person though. Have you ever gone to a club and sung?
Yes, like a
Okay.
long time ago. I used to want to do that a lot. Yeah, it was a big thing at one time for me.
Okay, I didn't know that, but that's what I'm seeing. I think like your hair, I feel like your hair is pulled back. I don't know, was this like 20 years ago, 15
I
years
had
ago?
brown hair and it was long and straight.
And pulled, but I see it like pulled back. I don't
I
know.
used to
And
pull it
I
half
see it
back
standing at a mic.
sometimes.
I don't know if it's like an open mic thing or if or what. But yeah, there's something there for you too, Eva.
Okay, that's feeling really exciting inside hearing you talk about that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if sessions are meant to, especially like intuitive guidance, it's like meant to validate. It's not meant to tell you things you don't know about yourself. Sometimes
Yeah.
it does, but it's more likely to validate things that you do, that you
Yeah.
trust yourself more.
This feels really exciting. I'm like
Yeah.
really thankful this came through.
That's
Yeah.
how you know. The video I sent to you earlier, I sent a video to her earlier, this Super Soul Sunday episode of Oprah with Carolyn Miss.
Yes.
And I'll post it in my stories if anybody wants to watch it. It was like a 35-minute long video. I sent it to you too, Erin. It talks about that kind of thing, like how you know when something's right for you and how you don't, and like the kind of excitement in your soul.
Yeah.
So it might be really aligned for you to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because the reason you're feeling excited is because your soul is like, yes, like it's remembering, right?
Yes.
It's remembering all these things that you have, not to say you've neglected them, but
Well, that's a good word
Yes,
for it, I would
a
say.
little bit. Yeah. I wanted to be like kind about how I said it, but it's almost like
I
she's
can take it.
neglecting me.
I can take it. No, it's true. It's like things, I let stress dominate instead of those things that, like it's like a block. The stress blocks you from those fun things.
And that's what a lot of us do though. Like we get so overwhelmed with like what's not working out and the stress, and then we don't realize like I do have some tools that will help me de-stress, like because we try to solve the problem of what's stressing us out, but we often can't in the moment. So it's like, what do I do right now in this moment though?
That makes a lot of sense. That's partly why I got the puzzle out when I knew this was coming, because I wanted to do something like productive. That I find puzzles very like they're a stress releaser.
Because what it reminds me of is I often talk about like being in the zone, right? Like has everybody watched the it's a cartoon, but it's called Soul. It's a Pixar movie. If you haven't watched it, it's like watch it even if you don't have kids. This is really cool. It's like a Pixar movie about the afterlife and about the soul's purpose. And in it, they kind of talk about like being in the zone. It's kind of like in the in-between, like between here and there. And that I think of the zone as, because when I think of traditional meditation, I'm like, no, I have ADHD. I can't meditate. I always tell myself that, right? I can't do it. And I've learned to just say, where do I get in the zone? What helps me get in the zone where I'm not actively thinking about things? And that's meditation.
Yeah. That's been a big theme. Like I've known that I need to do things opposite to stress that are play, like where you lose sense of time. I've known that
as
maybe
adults.
this is the bridge being built now to actually go from knowing to doing.
Yes. Just do it. It's like, because, often like when we know we should do something and we don't do it, this sounds harsh. It's not meant to be harsh. It's like, real talk. It's an act of betrayal to our soul.
I appreciate the real talk. I can take it because I think that's the only way. You're right. It's like betraying yourself.
It is when like this will make me happy, or I feel like I'm meant to make this decision. but you go against it, it is an act of betrayal to the soul, because that's not what
a
you
good
came
thing
here to do.
ponder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard. But for me, I need the real talk to make any sort of move, or I'll just
Me
sit in my
too.
comfortable bubble. So,
It feels like it pierces through any cloudiness, and it's just clear. Clear is kind, and then you can move forward, especially when
that's
you're
what it
open
is.
and you feel ready to hear something tough. And I don't like being blindsided by a harsh message.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when
If
I'm
I
open
ever,
and ready.
yeah, if I ever get kind of like something that comes through and it's like, oh, this is like going to put this person in their place. Like, I always ask, are you okay with like real talk? And they're like, yeah, I actually need it. That's why I'm here. But,
Yeah.
but they always only give it to me for people that are ready to hear it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I trust that. Did you have any question? I know that we're going to connect at another time, but did you have anything you wanted to ask?
Well, you answered one of them. The other one was just, I worry about Dad a lot. I like just about his health and his longevity and his memory.
Okay.
And I just wondered if my grandfather has any insight on that, or any little things, that would
help.
either, put me at ease, or like make the most of our time, or look at things more realistically, or anything like that.
So when it comes to health stuff, I used to like totally shy away from anything health.
Okay.
Not going to go there, simply because I'm like, I don't want somebody to take it as if this was medical advice or something. Right.
Right.
So, but health stuff often comes up, and I often say, if I'm getting something about health or you're asking about health, it's usually to validate something you already know. It's like not to diagnose or make you blindsided about something. Like, I actually don't want to tap into that. So I wouldn't tap into like how long he has left.
Right.
But I can tap into things to be proactive about, if that would be helpful, or like, things that you guys can do and bond together. I would absolutely tap into that too. So let me personal question again, but is there sometimes some mental health stuff with Dad?
Yeah.
I feel a little bit foggy sometimes. So that's just might be stress, or stress like coping mechanisms kind of thing. Because I feel like what's coming in, there's a similar energy to like what I personally am like, which is like the ruminator.
Yes.
Or like, that's me, right? And I have to get myself out of it. And I feel like he might be a ruminator.
Both Dad and I very much so.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that it obviously is detrimental to us, but that comes through as something potentially to work on. And again, like anything that he, like, maybe a question to ask him is like, Dad, like, what gets you in the zone? Like, what do you do? And you kind of like, oh my God, 5 hours went by, or, like whatever it is, like, what is that for him? So is he retired now?
Yes.
Okay. Is this new-ish?
Yeah, like the last less than 2 years.
Okay, because it feels new. I almost feel like I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, he has kind of been inventing projects.
It's interesting looking for things to do. Yeah, I definitely feel that. So that's good. That's absolutely encouraged, but like, rather than just like any nilly-willy thing, like be more intentional. Like, what is the thing that like will make me feel really good, rather than just to like fill an hour up.
Yeah.
It feels like that will be helpful for him. I also feel like I want to tell him to get his eyes checked.
Oh yeah, he has a bunch of eye issues.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. So
he's on that one, although hopefully thoroughly enough. I think he's had some issues like getting his referral and getting to the person, and been a little bit of a rigmarole.
There's a work in motion. Okay, as long as he's aware of it. I just felt like something about eyes were coming up, and stress. I want to put it out there. I don't feel concerned about time running out anytime soon.
Okay, good. He's validating. He said something morbid not long ago, and I said, oh, you've got 10 years left. Then my husband said, Eva, like as if I was limiting him, but I was really trying to say, no, you've got lots of time.
You got more than you think you do. Like you might think that there's less. Yeah. No, I don't feel like that's hovering. I'm not like super going there, but like, I just feel like it's coming up to stress to you, not to worry about that too much. but like, and he needs to go outside more.
Okay. He does go outside a fair
Does he?
bit, but when, when everyone's at work, he could be sitting on the couch watching TV. I don't really know. I wonder
Okay.
about that. Like, what is
Does
he
he have a
doing while
dog?
at work? Sorry?
Does he have a dog or a companion? Like
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Betty and Morris, the cat and the dog.
okay, because I was seeing him walking a dog. So I mean, if he does that, he's probably getting
Yeah.
out. I wasn't sure if that was coming in as encouragement or advice or what, but okay. He's probably, then that's probably just showing me him walking outside with the dog. And does he live somewhere, like, obviously you're in Nova Scotia, so somewhere near the coast, because I feel like I see him walking near water.
Yeah, he just got the cottage across the road from the house. He spends
Okay,
a lot of
yeah,
time
I
over,
see
and they
why.
walk over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yes, I feel like the main thing with him is just like to stay proactive with the eye stuff, like
Yeah.
to advocate for himself if he's getting a runaround or
Yeah.
whatever, advocate, it's important.
Yeah.
And to watch his stress,
Yeah.
because the stress gets internalized and it just feels like, I don't know if his blood pressure ever acts up or what, but like I just feel like just internalize the stress too much. So and the fact that he's retired and like looking for things to do is actually a great thing.
Yeah.
I just doing things that he actually really wants to do rather than just to fill the gap is
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like, is he alone?
Well, yeah, my stepmom is still working and she's trying to retire, but it's just not coming together yet.
Okay.
But so he does spend a lot of his time alone right now.
Yeah, I feel like he's lonely maybe.
Yeah, okay, that's validating too. Especially in the fall, I wondered about that a lot.
I
Yeah,
feel like
but
he-
I'm hoping she's very soon retiring. Like maybe
Good.
this summer.
Good.
Yeah.
That will be good for him. He's just one of those people that like just shouldn't sit idle and maybe shouldn't be alone all the time.
Yeah, he's very social and he likes to be busy and creative and doing things. So
Yeah. So I hope that helps you.
yeah, very much.
Okay.
Really, you're very special, Amy. Oh my
Oh,
God.
thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you. This is why I do this, just to show that like, because there's so many like misconceptions and untruths about mediumship, and some of them are, there's a reason for it because of what we see in the media, or maybe some people that do this and aren't super authentic, I'll say, but there are people that actually can do this, and I do think it's a gift, and I think it's a gift to be shared. So I do this to kind of break down any barriers or misconceptions, and you can just see what it is for what it is, and to connect with the room. I know that you're not all strangers, but there's a lot of you I don't know, but to get things that come through and super specific things. I feel like even if it just plants something in your mind where you're like, maybe there is something to that. Like, maybe I'm just going to start looking at that differently. That's really like that's the best thing. Like, if that's all you took from this, and like the wonderful, like, that's great. I know that not everybody got a reading, and I'm sorry about that. If I could, I would spend all day here and be with every single one of you. But is there anybody that had any questions about anything like intuitive based, or like about mediumship, or any kind of questions you had for yourself about your own intuition? Like, not so much like a reading, but like if you had a question for me about anything about development or mediumship, or anything like that, I'm happy to stay a couple of minutes and answer those for you. And if not, we will call it a day. And I will do this again. I used to do this quite often, like once a month, and it's been less so in the last little bit, but I plan to do this again probably in the next like 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. So Laura asks, how does a recorded reading work without me there to validate what comes through? That's interesting. So a few of you have had recorded readings, so I don't know if you want to speak to it. If you would, that would be amazing. But so essentially this work is all based on intention. So when I sit down and I set my intention, say you booked a reading and all I knew was that your name was Laura, if you book with me, you'll notice on my intake form that I specifically say I don't want to know anything about you. So I don't even want your question, really. You could leave a question, but like, I don't want you to go like, I want you to connect with my dad, George, and my brother, this, and my, like, I don't want all the details because then I get into my head too much. But it's about intention. So I sit down and I'm like, okay, Spirit, I'm here to connect to Laura, and Laura wants a mediumship reading. And so whoever is in spirit for her that she most wants to hear from, please come through. And then I just start to bring everything through, but I'll do it like you saw me do, but without questions. Like I'll just say it. I'll just say everything that comes through, without going, does that make sense for you? Like I'll just put it out there. And then there's always an opportunity after I send it to you for you to email me and say like, hey, can I ask you what this meant or something like that? But it's basically the same thing. So it's just intentional. So there's actually like this misconception that somebody has to be in person to do a reading. And this kind of shows that that's not the truth. We don't have to be in person, but we also don't even have to see each other, because for the first year of me doing this work, I did this work via email, if you can believe it. So I only did readings email, no face, because I was afraid to be seen and do this work. So it's something that I had to work through, because I felt like, what if I come on here and nothing comes through? What if I say the wrong thing, or I stutter, or I look stupid, or like whatever. And I was so terrified of that I only did email readings for a year, despite people saying, can we please like do a video reading? And finally I did it. And I'll like actually probably never go back to the email, because it is a lot more draining. Because when I'm with your energy, when I'm with your energy in some way, I think it's verbal. I think it's verbal works for me more than typing. So there's no difference really with email readings and doing a recorded reading, in the sense that I don't have you with me, but I prefer to give the messages verbally rather than writing them out. Because you got to think like everything I'm saying, I have to write it out and like edit it and make it into like almost like a story, like in paragraphs. It's not like I just give you point form. So it's just like extremely a lot of work that goes into it. But, you know, a lot of people have those and cherish them, because now they have these like, you know, 3 to 4 pages of things they can constantly look back on. But we also have a option of always recording your reading if we meet one-to-one. So that makes sense. I'm glad. How to develop your intuition, because recently I get a lot of goosebumps without any reason. So you've noticed that I talked about goosebumps a few times during this reading. And if you've had a reading with me, I'm sure that I told you I had goosebumps through it. So our intuition is very body-based. So it's like this messaging system that like is in the body, and it communicates with the mind. So it feels it first, and then our mind plays catch up. So those of us that are like really in the practice of connecting with our intuition would connect it like really soon and act in some ways. But most of us do not do that, right? Because we haven't been taught to. So it's just that feeling in your body. Like maybe it's a gut feeling about something, or you walk into a room or you meet a new person and something's going like, get out of here. That's your body's way of telling you something. So your intuition is the same. So the goosebumps are like, I say that goosebumps are a physical sensation, like it's a physical recognition of energy. So not all goosebumps, obviously, like sometimes we're cold, but if you get goosebumps out of nowhere, and it's like, especially if you've been thinking about somebody in spirit, or if you just read something that like hits in a certain way and feels like truth, or somebody said something, you're like, whoa, I felt that. Sometimes you'll get goosebumps. And that's a way just to kind of, they're like, another word is psychic chills. So it's like something in me recognizes that as truth for me, and my body is reacting to it. So goosebumps tell me that your that internal messaging system is kind of in overdrive. It's definitely, if you're getting them all the time, you're feeling them all the time. Thank you, Eva. Thank you for being here. So that's kind of like your your key though, to tell you, okay, there's something I need to be paying attention to. So it's the same thing with goosebumps as like, say like repeating numbers, like we've all seen like angel numbers, like 1111 or like whatever it is for you. I know when I first started, I would go on Google and be like, what does 1111 mean? What does 222 mean? I don't do that anymore. If you want to do that, that's totally up to you. But I truly don't really need to look up every single meaning to it, because that's just somebody's interpretation of what that meaning means. And it can differ based on where you're going. So something that you could do to help with your own intuitive development is to ask yourself, when you see 1111 or when you get goosebumps, what was I just talking about? What was I just thinking about? What was I just doing? Because my body just reacted, or the universe gave me a synchronicity to what that was. So what was that? And that's what I base things on now. Because all of that means something. It is like you're aware of something. And it's just a matter, I think it's more, I don't know, there's just something more impactful about asking yourself, what was I just thinking about, rather than looking up like what does that mean online. I don't know if that helps you, Jordy, but goosebumps are absolutely a physical sensation of your intuition. So it's telling you something. When I'm doing a reading and I just all of a sudden get goosebumps, for me, I always say, okay, that whatever I just said, that was super important for them to get through. Or sometimes I'm like, I don't know if it's this or this. And I'm like, we're trying to like go back and forth with it. And then I say something that's like, whoop. It's like, okay, it was that one. So it's a way that that energy validates us as well. Pay attention to those things for sure. And you can see how these are things that we all, like as humans, experience. Like I truly believe that we're all intuitives, because we all have intuition. Some of us are just dialed up a little bit more, right? But we all have the ability to do this, and we all experience. It's funny, like I talked to my husband, who is like military man, like logic, like this plan A, plan B, like he's that kind of guy, and I'm anything but. And you know, I've been talking to him about this, and he's like, okay, so that's your intuition? Like, yeah, that happens to me all the time. I'm like, I know it does. Because I'll be thinking about something. I'll be like, I really hope he, like, on the way home stops and get a pie, right? And then he'll come home with the pie. Like, that stuff happens all the time. And I joke around with him about it. He's like, oh, is that intuition? I'm like, yeah. Yes, empath is all about emotion. So I don't know if you know, I started writing blogs now on my website. I've only put out one blog so far on the weekend, but I'm going to do it weekly. And the first episode, or sorry, not episode, the first post was about, are you an empath? And being an empath and being a highly sensitive person usually goes hand in hand. So like we all have empathy, obviously, but you know, having empathy is like understanding what somebody might be going through. Being an empath is feeling it as if it's yours too. So if you have that, it is a gift, although it might sometimes feel like a curse. And it certainly has felt like a curse to me at times, like before I, you know, honed in and learned to manage it. But it is a gift, and it is a gift to humanity. And we do need that right now, because we need people that understand literally what other people are going through, because it helps us, you know, interact differently, and it helps us be better humans. I think when we can do that, we have more compassion, and we feel more connected, and we're less separate, and all of those things when we can feel what other people feel. So I think that that's why I do what I do. I think that that's why I've been called to do this work, to help people lean into their intuition and trust it. Thank you so much. I so appreciate it. So those of you that are still here, I'm happy to answer any other questions. If not, I will leave you. Some of you are new faces to me. Bye, Chanel. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it. I hope you got something from it, even though I didn't connect you. Okay. Sending you lots of love. That's a soul connection right there. We did a reading, and it was like, oh, there's a soul connection there. Yeah.
Amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Divine.
Thank you.
So gifted. Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much. But that's like kind of speaking to like what I was talking about, like when when you're seeking a reader, like make sure that you do your homework, make sure you listen to the person talk and you see if they have any work out available, because it's really important for you to feel comfortable and for you to be a good match. So my doorbell's ringing. That's probably a sign that I should go. I think it's my son coming home from school. So Denise and Lauren, thank you for being here. You're new to me, I think. I don't know if I've talked to you before. I talked to you, Denise, through Paul, right? Yeah. Yeah. So are we good? Do you have any questions? Oh, you listen to my podcast. Thank you. We're recording tomorrow 2 more episodes. So hang tight. And if there's any things that you want us to talk about on the podcast, please reach out and we take suggestions and we'll talk about anything that you want to us. Oh, you're okay. Now I know who you are. Amazing. Thank you. I didn't know. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Take good care. Stay in touch. Bye.